Okay, after a quick look through my journal, I think I'm gonna go to Aya, because a lot of stuff is gathering up there. And then I might go to Eos next. Maybe start the Asari arc. We'll see. First stop, Aya.
Fold orbit is steady.
Here we go.
I can feel the Scourge's drag on the ship.
At least it keeps Aya hidden.
Watch out for the Scourge. Touchdown with the Moshae.
Stars and skies light our way.
Stars and skies light our way.
She knows how to play to a crowd.
She's the Moshae.
Welcome home.
I never thought I'd see it again. Without the Resistance and the Pathfinder, I wouldn't be here.
We made a good team.
We freed more than just the Moshae. And the Pathfinder killed a Ket leader.
We have a lot to celebrate.
I promised to lead the Pathfinder to Aya's vault.
You're still recovering. Take your time. I'm not going anywhere.
Not without our help.
I'll prepare the vault for your arrival. A shuttle will bring you to me when it's ready.
Thank you, Moshae.
We've been alone against the Ket for too long. You've proven it doesn't have to be that way. It's time we discussed an alliance between our people.
We're happy to make room for you on the Nexus.
We'll provide an embassy here as well. Our city is open to you. Join us.
Well done, Joel. Report for reassignment.
I need to stay with the Pathfinder.
Jarl has already become a valued member of my crew.
Of course he has. I see the benefit. Request granted.
I need to file a mission report. Don't leave Aya without me.
Okie doke. Time to start handing in some stuff.
You came back?
I have bad news. Your supplier, Keldo, the Ket got him.
Thank you for confirming how he died. You have his supplies?
Keldo ran weapons for the Resistance. You were his contact.
Good, good. Continue.
Ephra asked you to test me, see how I'd handle myself.
I told him you were smart.
The Ket had your weapons. I got them back.
Yes, all of them. And kill those killers dead. This is good. You're honest, Pathfinder. Reliable. I'll tell Ephra you did well.
I appreciate it. I do want our people to get along, help each other.
You proved it. This time at least. Need to get the weapons where they belong, but... Kildo would want me to help you. I have things you can use, and I want to see your credits for myself. Trade?
Resources are scarce for us. If you'll take credits, I'll trade.
It's a start. My inventory's open to you. Anything you need.
Okay, never mind. This is to the vault. Let's actually go into the city proper.
Pathfinder?
Vold's people desperately need basic supplies. If your family can spare nutrient paste, unused clothing, outdoor survival gear, machine parts, tools, extra weapons, and ammunition, it would make the difference between life and death for these resisting the Ket conquest. Please donate items to the nearest victory to it. Moshae Sepha has returned. Rumors are true. Our beloved Moshae Sepha has been rescued from the Ket by brave members of the Resistance, aided by the Milky Way visitors. You may see unusual visitors on Aya in the days ahead. Don't be alarmed. They're here as guests. Remain vigilant and report suspicious activity to Aya security, but do not attempt to confront or restrain anyone yourself. Recent victories on Vold have spurred renewed public interest in joining the Resistance. Volunteer signups increased 500% over last year. Evra von Tershov encourages everyone, regardless of age, talents, or experience, to submit to a Resistance recruitment screening. Archaeologists working at a dig site on Hervarl's unsettled southern continent were forced to abandon their camp when a freak tendril of scourge energy pierced the atmosphere above their location. No injuries were reported, but the team leader stated the group lost years of research in the event. Cargo ship and transport vessel crews are reminded that Kadara Port remains a high-risk travel zone. No official business has been sanctioned with the deserters, and contact with the Milky Way immigrants living on Kadara is strongly discouraged. Looking for a level 7 starship engineer. Experience repairing and maintaining Varlstead Jove thrusters is required. Will work for extended travel periods lasting up to 6 weeks or more. Basic zero-gravity combat training preferred, but can be learned on the job. Meal prep skills and an engaging conversation style a plus. Must be clean. Submit application to Captain Samajer at Dock 3.
Villiers is back. The aliens, they rescued her.
Wait, you mean the Moshae?
Yes!
Start above. I'll go tell the others now.
Following items are cleared for immediate shipment to Vault. 3 crates solar heater replacement parts mixed. 4 cases freeze-dried nutrient paste. 2 crates G075 ammunition, explosive rounds. 6 crates reinforced heat-retaining synthetic fabric. This item has been quarantined pending port captain review. 3 unmarked cases of Marlje bottles, cask dates unknown. My love, I never planned to leave. Each moment I spent with you only brought me joy, even though you've never understood what you mean to me. There were moments I could have shown you how I really feel, but I wasn't brave enough. Not that you could have accepted me. Now I have to go, and I don't think I'm coming back. I hope for a day when we owe nothing to anyone. I dream of a moment when we find each other again and claim the lives we always should have led. I need to be level 40. I could go the usual N7. I wish I could compare this to what I currently have equipped. Hello. And this just leads out back. A team of artists from each of our homeworlds, Aya, Vold, and Havarl, worked together to create this mural. It depicts the centuries of hardship we endured as a result of the Scourge, but also the reunion of our people to build a strong, resilient society.
much we're heading back to the island.
That looks pretty. Oh, those twisters? Dang. We rose from nothing to touch the stars, made homes on many worlds. Do not mourn what the Ket stole from us. Celebrate what still remains. All things reach their end and make way for new life to fill the void. The worlds and people we lose will return in time. Family grows forever. We dedicate this garden to those who are not here with us, but who will one day return. This place is for them. Ah, fast travel stations. Let's go up here first.
The Moshae will be waiting for you at the vault.
While I'm here, maybe we can talk?
Of course. I owe you that. When I first escorted you through our city, I wasn't sure it was the right thing, but you proved I was wrong to doubt. No, more than that. You didn't have to save the captives from exaltation. I wonder if you realize what that meant to us.
We're in this together. The initiative wants to help.
I want to believe it. You're so different from the Ket. What can I do for you?
I'm hoping you can get me on Ephra's good side.
If I knew how to do that, my job would be much simpler.
Sometimes it seems like you two don't get along at all. And other times...
He's a brilliant tactician and inspiring leader. We just disagree on what's best for our people. He believes secrecy and isolation keep us safe.
What do you believe?
We can't defeat the Ket alone, and neither can your initiative.
I have a few questions about your culture.
I'm happy to answer them.
Don't take this the wrong way, but this isn't your only city, right?
Not at all. Vold and Havarl both have several large population centers. Aya has numerous residential areas similar to this.
Are these places open for visitors?
In time, perhaps.
I've noticed that you, Ephra, and Jal all speak with different accents.
When the Scourge first struck, there were many Angaaran worlds. They were separated for centuries. We developed divergent cultures and dialects. Ephra was born on Vold, and Jal is from Havarl.
What about you?
The Ket left my homeworld in ruins. Those who survived were forced to flee. We found a refuge on Aya. My family helped settle this world.
Aya seems important to the Angara.
Aya is paradise. This world is a gift. We created the Vassals so everyone could enjoy this place, if only for a short time.
The Vassal?
The time of change. Aya's resources are too limited for our entire population to live here. We each earn the privilege of spending a few years on Aya. When our time is up, we leave to make room for someone new. The cycle repeats throughout our lives.
Will you have to leave?
Someday. For now, Aya needs me.
Your people revere the Moshae. What did she do to earn that?
After the Scourge, our civilization was in ruins. Those who led the rebuilding were thinkers, experts, and inventors. The Moshae is the greatest scientific mind of our generation. She led us to a new age of technological innovation. When the Ket attacked, she studied their technology, learned their tactics.
You owe your survival to her.
We owe her everything, and we'll do anything to protect her.
So, what do you do for fun around here?
The Tavatan is a popular spot for recreational activity.
Right, but what do you do? Can't work all the time.
Productivity is the best form of relaxation.
It's also a great way to get stressed out.
You sound like my brothers. All 10 of them.
10?
And 8 sisters. They're not allowed to bother me at work.
What's it like being responsible for a whole planet?
I suspect it's like being the Pathfinder. Some days it's a burden. Most of the time, I know I'm where I should be.
How did you become governor? Do your people elect leaders by popular vote?
If by vote, you mean argue loudly until one candidate remains, then yes. I got here because I was willing to endure and fight for the obligations that come with my office.
Is there time in your busy schedule to meet someone special?
Everyone is special to me, in their own way.
Not what I meant.
Oh, no, that isn't a priority right now. Someday, maybe.
I sense tension between your government and the Resistance. Who's actually in charge?
Ephra likes giving orders, right until the actual work of running a city starts. The Resistance is good at protecting us from the Ket, but our people need more. I've learned to indulge Ephra's need for control, just often enough to maintain my own.
10 brothers and 8 sisters. You have a big family.
I've always thought of it as average. How many siblings do you have?
Just one. My sister, Sarah.
What happened to the others?
Our parents only had 2 children. Underachievers.
That sounds relaxing. When my family gets together, the noise is like standing next to our largest waterfall. My mother says I became governor, so people would have to listen to me.
Is she right?
Always.
Thanks for your time.
Ishare, Pathfinder.
Our laws need revising now that you're here.
Pathfinder, as you can imagine, your arrival raised concerns from Aya's people.
It'll take a long time to trust strangers again.
Which is why they want the Nexus to listen to them. We've set up terminals in the city so people can leave messages for your people on the Nexus. I'd appreciate if you take a look and forward their communications to your people.
The Ked have felt the power of the Resistance, and they know their end is coming. Our victories on Vold are only the beginning of what we can achieve, but we can't defeat the enemy without your help. If you're tired of living in fear, if you believe we were meant for something greater than slavery, if you're willing to stand up and fight, you'll find a new family in the Resistance. We'll train you to strike back at the Ket and reclaim what is ours. The Resistance defends the future of all Angara. Join us. Why are you here? What impulse drove your people to cross dark space? What have you come here for? Do you expect us to believe you're just explorers who want to live in peace? I think you fled something terrible. I think it might follow you here. Which one of your species actually controls the so-called initiative? Are you even different species, or just genetic constructs customized to fit different roles? Why do you all walk on two legs like us? Is it so we'd accept you? What did you look like before you crossed dark space? When I heard you were granted permission to land on Hervarl, I filed a complaint with Governor Moshae. The world is one of our most secret places, and it is not for outsiders. Even the Kett keep their distances, because they know we'll fight to the death to protect it. Anyone who defiles Hervarl will face consequences. You built ships to travel across dark space. Show us how to make them, and let us retrace your path. There are no Kett where you came from. We have a generation facing extinction, but you could help us go where the enemy won't follow. We've suffered enough. Give us a hope for a better life. I'll do it unedited. Alright then. Let's check out the market.
Can't believe I finally made it. Ryder.
Get your raw materials for art, for science, for you.
Doing okay?
Who knew saving a respected member of Angaaran society would open so many doors? I've been talking to some of their traders, seeing if we can work things out.
I know you like looking for the advantage, but we need to earn their trust first. Don't bargain too hard.
You're the boss.
Take home a fresh fruit.
I'm not selling to aliens. When trouble comes calling, will you be ready? Buy my armor. New clientele is always welcome here. Have a look. I'm sure you'll find something to your taste.
Can't hurt to be prepared. Maybe you've got something I'm looking for.
If I don't today, I will tomorrow. Increase your odds.
I remember the first time I met the Moshae. It was one of the greatest moments of my life. She has done so much for our people. When the rumors began that she'd been caught by their Kett, and worse, killed, I lost hope for our future. You restored it. I don't care what anyone says. I believe you came to save us. This is not your galaxy. You don't belong here. Anyone who thinks you're different from the Kett is a fool. I see you for what you are, and there are many more like me. If you come in peace and friendship, Pavoa. If your hearts are filled with deceit, you will die. That is all you need to know. My name is Vijaka. My family said I could write to you. I've never met an alien before, but I'd like to meet you. I think we can be friends.
They let you pass the gates. Huh.
It's an honor, and I understand that. I'll be respectful.
All right. Everyone deserves a chance to prove themselves.
Supply.
Vestaran? I was there when you landed. Watched you get escorted through the city.
Bet that was a sight.
You were an unexpected outsider. Not really a laughing matter.
I've never seen fruit like this before. What are these?
Paripo. Sweet with a little bite. Sometimes if I'm lucky, I have a few Kiloa or Elmok.
Is fruit scarce here?
In this form, yes. Very expensive. If you buy a Paripo from me, it means you have something to celebrate. It's a luxury, meant to be shared with friends and family.
I'll get moving.
Something I can do for you?
I'll get moving.
They rescued her. The Moshae has been returned to us. I see the news has traveled to the city.
Before engaging in trade.
Your credits are as good as anyone else's. Don't start any trouble and we're fine.
I'll be the poster child for no trouble.
Whatever that means, it'll do.
It's a luxury. I never thought I'd see the Moshae again, least of all thanks to you. Welcome to the marketplace. I am Arbiter Renav. I enforce correct conduct between merchants and customers, resolving any disputes. As the first outsider to enter the city, you are ignorant of our laws. We should change that.
Who decides what happens to people who break the law?
It depends on the grievance. I settle minor offenses right here. More serious ones require a tribunal.
Where I'm from, the biggest trade law is don't cheat. Is it different here?
I suspect we define cheating differently. What is unfair changes based on perspective.
I don't want to cause any trouble. How do I learn your laws?
I'll transmit a full readout. Familiarize yourself with the contents. Personal responsibility is a core foundation of our society. We expect it from everyone.
Understood.
Please visit my colleagues in the Governor's office and the Resistance headquarters. They'll teach you about our culture and what it means to walk freely among us. Your understanding is critical. It would be unfortunate if you accidentally violated our laws.
Where are we? Arbiter Renav.
As defined by the first founders of Aya, this world and all who live on it agreed to abide by the laws, customs, and regulations of a civilized society that has existed for centuries on other worlds. These rules of conduct ensure a voice for each family within our society and gives them certain indivisible rights. Page 1 of 5983. With first contact established between the Initiative and the Angara, the cultural exchange has become the Initiative's de facto embassy. Behind the scenes, diplomatic staff are preparing briefs for the Nexus leadership on Angaaran culture and social cues. Orientation and language classes have begun for Angara who wish to have a more long-term role in the Nexus or serve in the militia. Angara practiced the political philosophy of horizontal collectivism. All members of society are valued equally, and every citizen has a voice, but the ultimate goal is for individuals to promote the best interests of the entire civilization. Angara are expected to set aside personal preferences for the greater whole, and their laws reflect this. Crimes are evaluated and punished according to the pervasiveness of their impact. An unlawful act committed against a single person carries less weight than one affecting everyone in a family. Those who transgress in a way that undermines all Angaaran society incur the maximum penalty. Leaders of large political collectives, like Aya's governor, are chosen through democratic elections preceded by contentious public debates. All candidates openly challenge each other and in turn must answer any citizen who believes them unfit for office. Elected officials serve a single term, regardless of office. The Scourge disaster sent Angaaran civilization into a dark age. Records of their golden era of technological advancement and proliferation through space only survives as oral history, making it difficult to separate truth from legend. Nevertheless, Angara believed they had colonized numerous planets across the cluster before the Scourge's devastation left them cut off from each other for centuries. As isolated Angaaran worlds gradually rebuilt their technology and redeveloped space programs, the first mission was re-establishing contact with other lost colonies. A few such planets formed the coalition that now fights the Ket. The question remains if more Angaaran worlds are still hidden by the Scourge, awaiting rediscovery. If they do exist, it's impossible to know what stage of development these worlds are at, what help they might offer against the Ket, and whether they will accept the Initiative's presence in the Helios cluster. Angara rely on a participatory mixed economy, applying elements of socialism, capitalism, and an informal barter system. The exact means of market control varies on a contextual basis, reflecting the needs of a civilization primarily focused on its survival. Basic goods and services deemed essential to life are provided as fundamental rights, with citizens voting annually to determine exact resource allocations. Advanced personal technology, or luxury items, are acquired through a state-controlled capitalist market. Producers and vendors are licensed by the government and monitored by arbiters to ensure they don't negatively impact essential services. Within families and tight-knit organizations like the Resistance, individual members freely trade goods and services without using currency. Value placed upon something can vary wildly according to a person's needs. Disputes over barter trades are rare, as Angara take a long-term and generous view of economic interactions with each other.
Increase your odds of survival. Where are
Okay, I think I talked to everybody here.
Exaltation is just another word for how the Ket kill us.
And if you're wrong? If we've been killing for them without realizing it?
I saw a Ket up close when they attacked. It was nothing like our people.
The Ket weaponize their victims to make you hesitate.
And when the Ket begin to exalt your people? What will you do then?
Thank you for that. Insight, Pathfinder. The issue facing us is complex. Come, my friends. Deliberate with me.
Before the Scourge, Angara were one people. It took centuries after that disaster to find each other again, and by then we'd been divided too long. That's how the Kett were able to conquer us. The war forced us back together, but now you've upset the balance. Some don't trust you. Others want you to save us. Divisions are forming. If you're really here to help, keep our people united. I'm writing this in my final days. I've lived a long life that now comes to its natural end. I've known great loss and pain, but also joy and hope. I think we have that in common. My fate is to leave at a turning point in history. Part of me is angry I won't see what happens next, but I've made my peace. Whatever becomes of your people, mine and the Kett, will reverberate into the lives of my great-grandchildren, and that gives me strange comfort. I know there's more to this life than war and hardship, and I've seen enough to know your people understand that too. Be well. Take care of each other. Change life for the better. Goodbye. Don't be deceived by the posturing of Evra de Tershav and his resistance. We are not a violent people. We're scientists, inventors, artists, and caretakers, and explorers. This is our home, but there is room enough for us all. We told the Kett the same thing, but they didn't listen. We hope you do. This message will never be read by the Pathfinder, much less reach the Nexus. We're so desperate for allies against the Kett that we're willing to make the same mistake with new aliens. This little stunt by the Governor won't change anything. We might as well be screaming into the wind.
Doesn't seem so tough. Don't pay it any attention.
He lets being bathroom go to
Oh, that's just down here. Okay.
Especially on this day.
Industrial food processors are used for creating and storing Angaaran nutrient paste.
Welcome to the Taverton. Feel free to order a drink, or if you're hungry, we have nutrient paste. Not as exciting as fresh fruit, but you'll like it.
What's in that stuff?
In short, everything. Nearly all the food we grow goes straight into processing. We can feed an entire planet in a single harvest. Even ship some off-world.
If we used your system, we'd never have a food shortage.
If you want, I can send a few samples to your ship. Your people can study it.
The Nexus would love that.
Consider it done.
What does Taverton mean? My translator won't pick it up.
It depends on the context. If it's a person, it means an old friend. If it's a location, like this, it's more a place you could bring someone home to.
What if you need to meet your Taverton at the Taverton?
It's not so hard to understand. I'm sure your language has its quirks.
Don't get me started. I'd like a drink. 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 That's all for now.
We'll come back anytime.
Good to be back here. Ready to hit those scans?
What am I looking for?
Moran called out supplies that may have useful properties for our tech. Just need to get Sam's eye on them. Take a stroll. Enjoy the market. Nav sent.
Let me tell you about Redcom. Helping the Moshae opened a lot of doors around here. Most Angara still keep their distance, though.
Well, you are a bit of an eyesore.
Speak for yourself. When I saw my first human, I couldn't understand how you keep your blood inside. Skin that thin.
I'm so glad you're back. I'm in one piece this time. Why are the good ones always dead?
Not today, Nexus.
Liam?
God damn it.
What's going on?
Nothing to worry about. Just come grab a table with me. Pathfinder, you're good here. We'll worry about the data another time.
Liam, what's going on?
I, figured we should end up somewhere nice and open. You were being cased.
Are you getting me in trouble? What was this about?
We're not in trouble exactly, but I don't blame them for being angry. I wanted to get data that would help yields at our outposts. Baran told me what to scan, but I called it off. I still owe her, but it's better than pissing off some gouging hardliner. Sorry I didn't clue you in. It's a security thing. Food is security.
Was this an attempt to copy their methods? Steal secrets?
We're not competing companies. It's about learning to live here. Remember my Tempest freakout? I tried proper channels. Got blocked by the Angara and the Nexus. There's only so much Jarl can tell us, so I did what we do back in crisis response. Bend the rules.
Liam, I deserve better than having this sprung on me mid-market.
You're right, of course, you're right. And the Angara are right too. The last people who showed up out of the blue were the Ket, the ultimate users. I don't want us getting lumped in with them, and I really, really don't want to ruin the market. Street food and shooting the shit with you feels normal. About time something did.
Let's not push our luck. We'll save the market for another day.
Good idea, Pathfinder. We've enough trouble, and probably more coming.
Yeah, just be patient, Liam. Not everything's gonna be fixed overnight. First contact with the Ked varied among our homeworlds. While the Ked sought to confuse Havarl with silence, they murdered the ambassador on Vold. They turned our worlds against each other and took advantage of the confusion and chaos. It's important for us all to learn from this moment in history and to present a united front in the face of adversity. We're currently updating this display to bring you the latest in historical finds. Thank you for your patience. This fragment is from a wall of the governor's public residence on Vold, which was destroyed by Ket bombardment during the initial invasion. The governor, all staff, and most of her immediate family were all killed in the blast. When Vold stands liberated, this relic will form the cornerstone of a monument for those who gave their lives defending our home.
Oh, you're here. Welcome to my favorite place in the galaxy.
Until recently, we knew this was a Ket tool, but didn't understand its purpose. Scholars have recently determined it's used in the exaltation of our people. Though it may be difficult to look at, it's important we learn and understand exaltation to protect ourselves and our loved ones. This dagger dates back nearly 4 centuries, to the time just after the Scourge appeared. Faced with the technological Dark Age, our ancient ancestors learned to fight and hunt without the use of advanced weaponry. Mother, you wouldn't believe all that's happened since Pathfinder Ryder landed on Aya. I'm sure you know about the Moshae's rescue, but I suspect you've only heard the official version. Everett and his resistance like to claim credit for bringing her home, but I know for a fact they never could have accomplished it without the Pathfinder. People fear these new aliens will turn out to be like the Ket. Don't listen to them. I feel in my spirit they've come to help, and you know I'm always right about these things. I wish you could see some of the interesting relics we found on Havarl and elsewhere. I'll bring images next time I visit. Also, I'm not seeing Autu anymore. It was nothing particular that ended things. We're just too different. Don't worry. My work still brings me all the happiness I need.
Pathfinder, did you make it to Havarl?
I found this Angaaran helmet. Does it mean anything to you?
This is a pre-Dark Age design. Do you see the black marks? The Scourge targeted this pilot's ship. Stars, it's perfectly preserved. I can almost imagine the pilot. He must have been so afraid. I've never seen one of these intact. Do you know how rare this is? I can't even begin to repay you.
If it helps you piece your history together, that's all I need.
It does help. You have no idea how much. You know, Pathfinder, this gets me thinking. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even know that helmet existed. What if that's not all we're missing? There could be a wealth of history just out of our reach. So, I'm requesting your help again.
Just tell me what I need to do.
I've led digs on every Angaaran homeworld, but there are places I've missed, areas only a Pathfinder could go. There could be relics sitting untouched for centuries because no one could reach them. What I ask is this: if you ever find yourself in an area like that, you keep an eye out for artifacts.
I already found one. Take a look at this.
This is unfamiliar to me. It does resemble an Angara, but it looks so strange. It's clearly centuries old. Is it an artistic interpretation, or is this what we really look like? The implications. Pathfinder, you may have discovered our earliest artifact yet.
Could it be a relic from another culture?
The technique and material matches other Angaaran relics, and you found it in one of our worlds. But perhaps the depiction isn't an Angara. It could be a deity of some sort.
You said the helmet was touched by the Scourge. What does that mean?
I forget your people weren't around for that. When the Scourge appeared, it targeted remnant ships, broke down their technology. With the drive cores disabled...
The ships crashed.
But that may not be all. The Scourge leaves a mark on whatever it touches. If it touched this helmet, perhaps the pilot was the target. There may be remnant tech inside the helmet.
Or in the pilot.
Storms. I hadn't even thought of that.
This is quite a place.
It feels like home to me. Sometimes I think I should move in here. But it's got a long way to go. Someday we'll fill it with relics of the past, each one telling a story. And my people will come here to learn. And to remember.
You'll get there.
With enough hard work, yes.
You know, as an Aya resident, it's your duty to show the new guy around.
I see. Is that a human custom?
Oh yeah, a very important one.
Then I'm sure Piran will be happy to give you a tour.
I'll come back when I have something.
Stars guide your travels.
While we can't know for certain, theories about this remnant device suggest its function may be to convert rock and sand into nutrient-rich soil.
That figure really is something.
Avela thinks it's an ancient deity.
Something about it calls to me, like a friend.
Oh, it's you. I watched you land.
Hope you're not calling me it anymore.
You heard that. I apologize. I was ignorant.
What's your job around here?
Aelin and I help Avela with her studies. I specialize in restoration.
So you make relics look new?
Do as I can. I'm not a miracle worker, no matter what Avela says. She'll praise Ellen and I to anyone who will listen. Never had a supervisor like that before.
I'll leave you to it.
I've heard so much about you. Is it true you entered a vault on Eos?
Sure is.
Amazing. I would have liked to see that.
Are you a relic hunter like Avela?
Actually, I started as an engineer. The Moshae requested my help cracking encryption on a remnant ship she found. Eventually, that led me to the repository. I've been handling data encryption here ever since.
I take it you help run this place.
Nalan and I are Avela's assistants. It's been strange getting used to that.
Why?
Avela's much younger than the previous curator. She has a lot more energy. Sometimes I have to remind her to take a break. She's too passionate for her own good.
I'll let you get back to it.
This pottery fragment is believed to be a ceremonial decoration from the ancient temples of Havarl. Archaeologists on Havarl recently discovered what they believe are pieces from the oldest structure as yet found on the planet. These fragments were literally uprooted by mutating vegetation rising from an underground cavern. Though the exact cultural nature of this find remains unknown, teams of researchers have recently established a permanent dig site to search for more clues. Though we know little about our pre-Scourge ancestors, evidence points to a grand multi-planet society with sophisticated technology. Many recent discoveries indicate our ancestors even traveled vast distances between systems. Though we have no way of knowing for sure, most scholars theorize our people's early success was due to the use of remnant technology. Though we don't know much about the remnant or its creators, we've determined the remnant were present in Helios long before our people. The remnant's purpose appears to be the same as the planetary vaults, to transform our world into a thriving, beautiful paradise. Before the arrival of Pathfinder Rider and Revolution 826, modern attempts to interact with the remnant have been unsuccessful, but we've been able to coexist with them peacefully here on Aya.
Getting acquainted with our new neighbors?
Sort of. All this stuff. The Angara sure do have a rich culture and blah, blah, blah.
You're sauced, aren't you? What's your poison?
I visited that cafe the Angara consider a bar. Asked for their hardest stuff. It was weird, which I like, but had almost no punch. Lightweight. Whoa.
Steady now.
That stuff must have a slow absorption rate. Whoops. Oh, Ryder. It's just... This museum reminds me of being on Haitiana during my indentured service as a student. They even have a whole section on the Remnant. I didn't come to Andromeda to follow in someone else's footsteps.
Don't worry, PB. The Angara barely have a foothold. Sure, they live among the ruins, but they haven't seen what we've already seen.
You might have a point there. Bet nobody here has ever outrun an ancient vault purification field, huh?
Nope.
Or spat in that Archon's ugly mug and lived to talk about it? That was nice work, by the way.
Thank you.
You're right. Not sure why, but ever since I packed up my apartment on the Nexus, something's crawled under my skin. But whatever it is, I promise, I'll get over it lickety-split.
You're fine, PB. We all need to cut loose once in a while.
That's awfully understanding of you, Ryder. You're a good egg. Think I'll stay in your operation a little while longer.
Yay. PB has bonded a bit with you over the Angara, and for now seems more comfortable being on your team. The box that PB found in the vault on Eos appears to be a remnant data storage device. PB calls it a data core, and has dedicated her time to unlocking its secrets as she is convinced that it may contain more information about the remnant builders. Close observation has revealed that the circuitry found within PB's relic boxes often matches up to circuitry found deep in observers and other remnant creations. It's possible they were used to deliver command routines to remnant machines.
Ryder, you are the subject of a detailed scan by an Angara standing nearby.
Maybe I should introduce myself.
You proved you can fight the Ket on Vold. The resistance doesn't impress easily. Stand with us together. Stand with us. Together we will take this word to the enemy's home. We'll make them feel terror. We'll show them despair. We will break the Ket, and when that's done, we'll share the rewards of victory. We've seen members of your species act with violence, greed, and selfishness. We found evidence of your people attacking and stealing from one another. Why do you hurt each other when only the Ket stand to gain? If our people are slow to trust you, it's because we can't understand why some of you seem determined to hurt others. Even the Ket stand united in their cause. Why don't you? I've spent my life wondering what other beings might exist. Your people are nothing like what I imagined, and I'm glad for that. I thought I was long past being surprised in life. My sons and daughters draw pictures of you and ask me all sorts of questions. They want to know everything about you. We hope you feel the same way. There's so much we can teach each other. Help arrives when you least expect it, and your arrival was unexpected. You came to Aya wounded and in need, and we didn't welcome you. You went to our other worlds and helped our people overcome terrible challenges with no promise of reward or friendship. You wouldn't do that if there wasn't a goodness at your core. You want to understand and be understood. This is the start of a great alliance.
Hello there.
I'm working.
You scanned me pretty hard. That wasn't your way of saying welcome, stranger?
I wanted to be discreet.
Noted. What's your interest in me?
You're an alien on my homeworld. Why wouldn't I be interested?
You could have asked.
Fine. Will you submit to a full spectrum analysis of your biology?
You haven't even told me your name.
Darnfra. Biological researcher. This is my home.
Are you looking for something specific?
We share many external similarities. I want to learn if that holds true internally.
I have a scanner too. Seems only fair you let me go first.
That's ridiculous.
It's my final offer.
You're bold, Pathfinder. All right. Scan me.
Angaaran skeletal structure, muscular formation, and organs are optimal for thriving in harsh environments. As previously discovered, they can also generate and discharge bioelectrical energy.
All done. You're interesting.
So are you. When we face extinction, family is our final comfort. Do you understand that?
I've spent long enough around your people to understand what family means to you.
You only see the surface. Family is everything. Not only the one we have now, but the ones that follow us. What will your family look like in 5 generations? 10? How many of you will there be?
You're worried there'll be more of us than you.
I have 23 grandchildren. I want to know what their grandchildren will inherit. Goodbye, Pathfinder.
Well, what do you think?
I could get used to this.
We take turns living here. You can see why.
It's interesting that it works for your people. Not sure it would on Earth.
Really? Hardship brings out the best in people. It's what I think, anyway. Thank you for making sure that the squad behaves while on Aya.
They just follow my lead, I guess.
I was being sarcastic. So, good to know.
So does that icon, like the 2 people thing, does that just mean like a friendship icon with Jarl? Or is that the romance option? It's hard to tell. Though we face an enemy that will not stop until our entire civilization ceases to exist, it's important that we not abandon the principle of basic morality. The Ket must be defeated, but not at any cost. It won't matter if our future generations can live without fear of death or enslavement, if that freedom was achieved through genocide or other barbaric crimes. Page 1 of 241. Things are as bad as we thought. The deserters don't care about anyone but themselves. Recruitment efforts have found zero traction. Ironically, we've had better luck gaining support from the new aliens. A small group pledged to support the resistance and alert us to future Ket activities on Kadara. Seems unlikely the enemy would give up on the planet so easily, but maybe the presence of these new aliens has confused them. Regardless, I recommend we abandon recruitment efforts and instead focus on infiltration of the local population using deep cover agents. I'll submit a list of candidates in my next report. Severe whiteout conditions have made casualty confirmations difficult. Expect these numbers to be adjusted in the next update. Hopefully they'll be lower. Kid ambushed a night patrol in the Lundgren crevasse. 3 dead, 2 wounded, 1 missing. Squad missing outside Techix. Presumed captured, 4 missing. Sniper caught in avalanche on southern slope. Presumed dead, 1 missing. A shuttle suffered mechanical failure, made hard landing on Steen Ridge, 2 wounded. Argument in the barracks got out of hand, 1 wounded, mostly in his pride. No one questions your thinking, and we all understand that the circumstances we faced are unprecedented. However, you should know that people are talking in the barracks about these new Nexus aliens. Setting aside how they look, smell, and behave, how can we be expected to trust these things with access to our most secure world? On behalf of my unit, we submit to this that this so-called Pathfinder crew shouldn't be permitted to roam the city without an escort. We're keeping close watch on them. Don't worry, we're not letting them see us. But it would be easier if we could assign a guard to each visitor whenever they are on Aya. We hope you'll consider this option.
moved in Vayon to replace them? No, 6-9 is too unstable. We out of food in 2 days. Had ammo in 3. They have to fall back.
Sounds like you've got trouble.
Too many kit, not enough resistance. Have a team that's been in the field for 6 months without resupply. They won't come in. Say they're close to taking down a kit outpost, but I don't know.
If they could do it alone, they would have by now. Send reinforcements.
Hitting the enemy in one place leaves us vulnerable elsewhere. But you're right. This is the hardest part of my job. Thank you for the advice, Pathfinder.
The Kid conquest of the Angara several decades ago has left the military forces virtually extinct. The few warships and ground forces to survive the initial attacks were lost through attrition to planetary defense. In place of an organized military, the Angara must now rely on the resistance. Angaaran leaders composed articles of war and submitted them as laws to be followed by these volunteer soldiers. The rules of engagement reflect a mindset prioritizing preservation of Angaaran life and culture over vengeance on the Ket. A resistance soldier confronted by a Ket base filled with Angaaran slaves, cultural artifacts, and Ket guards is expected to rescue slaves and reclaim artifacts first. Any Ket would then be destroyed with expediency and minimal cruelty, not to spare the Ket, but to uphold the integrity of Angaaran civilization.
I expect you to take good care of Jarl out there.
I will. I'm sure he'll return the favor.
Don't worry about him. You saved the Moshae. That earned his loyalty. Still wrapping my head around what you found at the Ket facility. That exultation.
It must be hard for you, realizing what the Ket soldiers are.
Doesn't change what we have to do. It's war. What do you need?
What's your story, Ephra?
You're not getting my personnel file.
I'd just like to know who I'm working with.
You want to know what it's like being me? I wake up every morning to fight a war. I send people to kill and die. If I'm lucky, there are more dead Ket than resistance when I go to sleep.
That's a hell of a burden.
Enough personal discussion.
You've been fighting Ket a long time. Any advice?
Your war's different from ours.
It's still a war, and we're not prepared for it.
Wouldn't matter if you were. The Ket aren't a conventional enemy.
Any idea where they came from? A homeworld somewhere?
Each of our colonies heard a different story. I doubt any were true. They came from far away. That's all we know.
Ever tried following a Ket ship to see where it goes?
Of course we did. Wherever home is, they don't visit.
Do the Ket have a favorite strategy? Something we can exploit?
They switch tactics constantly, almost capricious about it. Makes them unpredictable.
They must have some weakness.
They're vulnerable to brute force. That's enough.
The Ket aren't mindless monsters. They must care about something.
Slaves, resources, power. Same as any conqueror.
You didn't see the exaltation process. They treat it like religion.
They convert us against our will. That's not religion, it's genocide. Every culture has its purpose. Theirs is to take whatever they want.
There's no official Angaaran military? Just the Resistance?
Lost our fleets and armies decades ago. Ket mostly. The rest fell to internal strife. We kept fighting, but our civilians were disorganized. Poorly supplied, leaderless. Decades of aimless defiance got us nowhere. I had to make the Resistance real.
I've seen armed people in uniform. They're not Resistance?
Aya police. Purely ornamental. Gives us the appearance of civilization.
You don't think they're necessary?
If things go bad, the Resistance will handle it.
That's up to the governor, isn't it? How is the Resistance organized?
Loosely, we operate in cells. Independent strike teams have better odds. If the Ket capture a cell, it doesn't compromise the rest.
How did you wind up in charge?
Nothing to lose. My family was rounded up into a Ket slave camp. Last contact I had with any of them was 10 years ago.
They could still be alive.
Didn't figure you for an optimist.
What success have you had against the Ket?
Enemy casualties are up 600% in 3 years. But that's just a number. Every time we destroy a facility, take out a warship, we give our people hope.
And you're not fighting alone anymore.
We'll see.
What do you think of your governor?
She governs Aya, not the Resistance.
Way to avoid the question. Is there history between you?
I can always count on Paran to offer a spirited argument.
You respect her?
She holds her own. Not many do.
I hope the initiative is making a good impression.
The initiative. Sounds so unthreatening, like a city planner meeting.
That's kind of what it's meant to be.
City planners don't walk around in battle armor with rifles on their shoulder.
Depends on the city. My point is, we traveled through dark space to build something here.
That's what invaders always say. At first.
We're not invaders.
Of course.
I'll let you get back to it.
Good.
Okay, I think it's about time we head to that vault.